Chris Paul might have just announced his retirement. A clip of CP3 is circulating the internet in a recent interview he did with Jamil Hill. She asked how much longer he's planning to play, and he says at most a year. While this isn't an official retirement announcement, I think it's safe to say that we can expect him to hang it up after this year. He just came off his 20th season. He knows he's in the twilight of his career. He's not the all-star caliber player that he used to be, and I think he knows that. Last season with the Spurs, he started all 82 games. He put up 8.8 points, 7.4 assists, and 1.3 steals per game. That said, this development sets the stage for a much bigger conversation. We know CP3 was exploring new teams this offseason, and it was fair to assume that wherever he landed would likely be his final stop, right? So now, with confirmation that this will indeed be his last season, the question becomes clear. Where should Chris Paul finish his career? Lachelle, I want to pass this to you. Chat, I want to hear your responses as well. We know he's been linked to some teams. With that being said, despite the teams he's being linked to, I still want to know, where do you think is the best landing spot for him, given, where he's at in his career, who he is as a player, who he is off the court as well, his family life, what he wants for himself. Give me your pick. Give me your pick. Where do you think he should be going?
That's so hard because I'm going through my mind of all the teams he's already been on. And I'm like, are we still trying to get the ring? When he declared that he doesn't want to end his career without a championship and he would play until he gets one. It's like, do you immediately try to go to a contender on a very 1 year low contract type of deal? Like, I'm trying to think, do you even sit there and say, let me try to go to the Lakers? Like, do I make a call? I'm thinking about his family, where they reside. I'm sure he wants to be closer to his kids. I want to say he had another interview where he recently, I think it was with Taylor Rooks at an event, and I think he was pretty much saying, I've missed so much time of my kids' life, and they're teenagers now. They're growing into young adults, and I want to be there for it. I guess it's such a hard one because I don't want him to go somewhere that's rebuilding. I feel like that's such a waste to who he is. You are this top 5, top 10 point guard ever. And it's you deserve to go out on a very good franchise, on a good run at least. Should we be putting you on a team that's still building together? Do you send him to Washington? No, is it right to send you somewhere that we know won't make a deep playoff run? I don't know if I have a team specifically for him, but I do hope that a team sees value in his leadership and says, hey, we want to bring you on. It's a pretty cheap deal that they're going to be getting for him. It's not like he's going to be asking for a ton of money. It's a 1 year rental. I hope some contenders call. I honestly think if I was Minnesota, I would possibly pick up the phone because they do need a point guard. You could get it on a cheap deal. He's at that point in his career where he's going to facilitate, then go for his own shots. I think he deserves to go out the right way. I will say that. And I think he deserves to go to a team that's going to make a deep playoff run and he could be able to contribute veteran leadership.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's been linked to the Clippers, the Suns, the Hornets, and then I believe the Bucks are kind of in that conversation as well. I know that there was a report that came out earlier today that he turned down some interest from the Hornets and the Mavericks. So that kind of helps give us a little bit of a picture of what teams are in that conversation. With that being said, like you said, family is a huge part of it, and he has made some comments about that. His son just turned 16, his daughter's 12, his wife, is taking care of them in LA, so that's their home base. With the Clippers being, a team that's of interest, it seems like the Clippers are the most realistic option. But you also have to keep in mind, like you said, what is his goal? He wants to be somewhat close to home, somewhat close to his family. He said, the past 6 seasons he's lived without them. So with that being said, LA makes a lot of sense. The Clippers make a lot of sense.
For sure.
He also says he wants to start. And I think with that being said, the Bucks make a lot of sense for him as well. I think Phoenix, the Suns could potentially satisfy both. I'm just not sure Phoenix would accommodate his request to start because at the moment they seem pretty set on that Booker Green backcourt. But I mean, it would make a lot of sense if he were to go to the Suns too. I mean, at the end of the day, what's a charter flight? You know what I mean? You make a lot of money. You make a lot of money in LA.
Yeah.
Not that far, especially from some of these, options, especially Phoenix.
Yeah.
Milwaukee a little bit different, but when you make millions of dollars, I mean, literally, you can you can hop on a plane super easy and be home in no time. You've been doing it for
For
the
sure.
last 6 seasons. I don't know what one more season is gonna hurt, but I'm not Chris Paul. I'm not making that decision for him. But
That's tough though. I just feel like I guess it again, he's announcing this today technically. I guess this is a formal announcement and not a formal announcement at the same time, but it's obvious that he probably hasn't thought of every single thing either. It's probably one of those things like you need to say it so you don't go back on it. Cause like for him, it's probably like if I don't answer this as honest as possible, I could go convince myself I could play 2, 3 more seasons. Cause like he's a hooper. Like you don't want to have to admit that it's over. I think Candace Parker said that when she retired. It's like you don't want to sit there and accept that the ball is done dribbling. And you almost have to tell yourself, like, no, this is it. Like there is no going back. So I wonder for him, was it more like, let me say at most 1 year, 1 season. So like I don't start to convince myself that I could keep playing. But I think it's to your point. It's like, okay, is family the choice? If that's the case, like you said, charter flights are not a problem. Like you're rich. It's also like, are you wanting to go out on a high of your career and wanting to compete one last time? Like, I'm so conflicted. Like, we're not Chris Paul, but it's like, I would love to see him at least have one more really deep run. And I wonder if that's something that satisfies him. I mean, I'm not going to Phoenix for no deep run unless you're just going to be back with Devin Booker. But like, at this point, y'all have been apart for quite some time now. I don't think that's a big deal, but it's like I could see Clippers. I think that makes a lot of sense actually, more than probably anywhere else. But I don't know. Chris Paul, I'm sad. Like, man, we're getting to that point in the league. Like, I'm grieving. I'm grieving. I don't like it. I don't like because it's a domino. Once one says it, it's like everything starts to become really real for you. That like, oh wow, we're on like limited time with CP3, with Katie, with Steph, with Braun. Like we are on literal, just borrowed time. And it's like I just slap in the face. Like I'm grieving. Gosh.
yeah, it's tough. I mean, like you said, we were watching him enter his 21st season. 21 years in
Insane.
the NBA. Look at our age. I'm 25, you're 27, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we're looking at players that we grew up watching, and it's an end of an era and it sucks. But I mean, when you have a legendary career like that and a great run, like you can't be mad at it either. It's
No.
21 great seasons in the NBA.